All right, you guys, it's day 5. It's almost over. I'm really curious how everybody is doing. So by this time, you're practicing basically 4 habits per day. You should be, by the time you're watching this. And then we're going to add a 5th habit. And that 5th habit is something that I'm calling conquer your inner coward. Everybody has a voice in their head that tries to sabotage them. And it's that voice that says, you know what? Let's just start tomorrow. Or let's start in the new year. Let's start on Monday. Okay? It's that procrastination voice. It's that voice that wants to delay the difficulty. It wants to delay discomfort. That voice in your head is there to kind of protect you from doing things that are uncomfortable. The problem is that voice can really do a disservice to you. So you have to conquer it, right? So basically, you've got to ignore the bullshit that you tell yourself, and that frankly that you sell yourself. Again, it's the voice that says, "I'm too busy. I can do something else with my time." And essentially, it's the voice that lends you excuses. And, unless the world is falling apart around you, I guess sometimes it feels like it is, but, in your own personal life, there's just no excuse. I don't, a little tough love, I guess. I don't care how busy you are, what job you have, how many kids you have. And the reason I say this is because I have worked with people who have unbelievable limitations in both their personal life and their physical, self. I've worked with people with neurological diseases that have put them in degenerative neurological diseases where their future is that their movement is going to inevitably get worse and worse. Yet they still, these people still find and found time to work out. So if you were confined to a wheelchair, knowing that it was, or if you found out you had a neurological degenerative disease that took you from, using walking sticks basically to help you get around, and then it would, then you'd end up in a wheelchair, right? And then basically you'd end up having to have somebody else push you in a wheelchair. If you knew that and you still worked out, look, I challenge you to level an excuse that would be greater than that, okay? So again, I'm driving this point home a little bit, hard, but there's just no excuse. You can find 10 minutes to work out. You can find time to make sure that you are mindful with your habits when it comes to lifestyle. There's just no excuse. But I always love getting challenged with excuses. Well, what if this? What if that? Ask me the question and I will give you a straight up answer on why that's bullshit and why you can do the things that you think you can't do. Because at the end of the day, the question you should really be asking yourself, instead of sorting through all the reasons you can't, you should just ask yourself, is this even something I want to do? Because it's more important to be honest with yourself, because you can ask yourself the question, do I want to be the kind of person who takes care of myself physically and has a lifestyle that reflects that? If the answer is yes, then there is no excuse. If the answer is no, I don't want to be that type of person, then just embrace and accept that. I think a lot of people live in denial. Some people, and these people exist, and that's fine. No right or wrong, no judgment. But there are some people who just do not value taking care of themselves. In which case, you get society pressure, pressure for your health and things to do stuff, but then you just don't do it because you're just not the kind of person who cares. So it's better to face up and own that. It's honestly more respectful to just be like, I just don't do that because I'm not that person. Instead of just continually creating excuses and, having to justify it in society. I digress. Sorry about that. So what's the actual habit? Okay, well, the habit is the next time that voice creeps in that says, it's too cold out, can't take a walk. I worked out really hard yesterday, so let me have an extra handful of X, Y, or Z. The next time, anytime really, that you hear that voice creeping up, that goes, and you recognize that voice as going against behaviors that lead you towards your goal. When you hear that voice, be mindful of it and refuse it. Stifle it, bring it down. Don't let it make decisions for you. That's not to say sometimes that you will make a conscious decision to not do something or do something, but the habit is to more often than not conquer that voice that I characterize as being a coward. That's what it is. I know that sounds harsh, but it's just to drive the point home. Okay, that's your final habit from these last 5 days. You are set up with what you need to get results. I'm telling you that. Do not forget, you can chat with me. I have, years and years of experience helping normal people figure out how to get the best results possible without having to turn their life into some, Fitspiration story, right? I get it. You do have a life. You've got other priorities. How do you fit in? Because if you're watching this, you do value fitness. You value wanting to be healthy. How do you fit that into your lifestyle without it having to take over? And, frankly, how do you do that when there's so much marketing and advertising that's geared towards basically confusing you and having you buy and do shit that just doesn't really do anything? Anyhow, what's the workout today? Today's pretty simple. You're going to set a clock for 10 minutes, and you're going to do as many sets or rounds as possible of the following movements. 1, prisoner step-ups. You're going to do 10 of these guys. You can find any kind of platform. It could be a bench, it could be a chair, it could be whatever is stable enough for you to step up. Always make sure you look above you to make sure that you're not going to step up onto something and to hit your head. I say this from experience. The prisoner position just means hands behind head. It just forces better posture and it makes the exercise more challenging. So you have 10 prisoner step-ups to do. Make sure that you step all the way up before the other foot comes on, okay? And then I step down. And then I alternate my foot. So if my left leg just went up, now my right leg goes up. This is rep 2. I like to step down with the opposite foot. So if I stepped up with the right, I lower down with my left. That way the working leg also gets the eccentric on the way down. So I'm doing prisoner step-ups. Your goal, make sure that you don't jump off the bottom leg, right? You want this leg to do the work. So brace your core and come up, okay? Okay, 10-minute clock. 10 prisoner step-ups total. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. The next movement is what we call a thoracic bridge. This is kind of like that breakdance sit-through we did the other day. But essentially, you're going to get into a bridge position, not shins vertical, but shins slightly less than vertical. I'm going to have one hand planted behind me. And what I'm going to do from there is I'm going to do a big bridge, and I'm going to reach towards the planted hand. So I'm going to push and get these hips open, and I'm also reaching. My hand, you can see my hands here, it's reaching out. I'll bring the angle up a little bit. So, as you bridge up, you're reaching. This requires mobility in the thoracic spine. Up, and a big reach. Like I'm trying to shake somebody's hand that's way behind me. I come down, that's 1 rep. Up, that's 2 reps, okay? That's a basic thoracic bridge. You'll do 10 total or 5 per side. So far, 10 minutes, as many rounds as possible, 10 prisoner step-ups, 10 thoracic bridges, and then 10 jumping squats. These are normal air squats, but you're gonna jump a little bit higher and you're gonna squeeze your quads, get a good burn in the front of your legs. So I'm still gonna squat full depth, butt below my knees, but I'm gonna jump, point my toes, and squeeze my legs. This just makes your muscles have to contract more, and you're gonna get a really nice burn. It's gonna feel great. So you gotta do 10 of those. It's just those 3 movements, cycle around them in a circuit for 10 full minutes. All right, this video is under 10 minutes. Let's see if we can do it. You can book your consultation with me. Look for the email. It's that blue button. It'll bring you to my schedule. We'll talk about your fitness, and that's it. I hope everybody enjoyed this. Would love your feedback. Okay, happy holidays, everybody. Bye.